Some Bible verses from the Old Testament. Give me some Bible verses from the Old Testament.
Allow the poor to glean the fields.
Allow the poor to glean the fields. That's in Leviticus. And that's basically, that means that when you are harvesting the crop, guys, when you're harvesting the crop, you're supposed to leave some in the field because that's what the poor we're gonna get. And a lot of people would live off of that. Okay, another Old Testament. Huh? Beatitudes is New Testament, but that's true. That's very good, but it's New Testament. Old Testament. Micah. The prophets talk about the poor like nobody's business. If you want to go to the prophet that spoke, I think, most about the poor, go to Amos. Amos, he tore it up. He called people out. He wasn't playing any games. But he wasn't the only one. See, a lot of the times when Israel would drift away from God, it was when they got caught up in their riches. And they always forgot the widow and the orphan. That's going to be a key phrase. Do not forget the widow and the orphan. Right? And that's another way of saying keep a preferential option for the poor, because they're the weakest. They're the people who are in most need. ¿Verdad? Okay? New Testament, yes, Old Testament. Elijah and the widow. When Elijah said, make me something to eat, she said, I was going to make this, and then I was going to give it to my son, and we were going to die. Right? And so Elijah, brought her hope at that time. He said, don't worry about it. That's going to be the flour and the oil that keeps on giving. You have another one?
Yeah. I don't know if it's I think it's in Leviticus, but all the things from the leftover feast.
The food of the leftover feast. Okay. Don't worry if you feel a little unsure about the Old Testament, because I have 2 pages of Old Testament verses that you will take home for your homework. Oh, let's try that again. For your homework! But it's all Bible verses all throughout the Old Testament, and it's like after you read each one, you're like, wow, now I feel that there's a whole whole background, there's a whole fondo for what we're saying, because this has been being said for thousands of years. Okay? New Testament, real quick. The Beatitudes. Any other ones?
Lazarus and the rich man.
Lazarus and the rich man from the Gospel of Luke.
When James speaks about taking care of the widows and the orphan children.
James has a couple of them. He talks about taking care of the widows and the orphans. He says, how come, when a rich man walks into the synagogue, you're like, hey, how you doing? Sit down right there. Or when the poor man comes in, you're like, ¿tú quién eres? Go vete de aquí. And he calls people out. This is nothing new. This has been going on for a long time. James is a great place to look. But we're going to do that the 3rd week, okay?
Job 24.
Job 24? Job, yeah, okay, amen.
Lord, when did we see you hungry? When did we see you thirsty?
Matthew 25. That is basically the fundamental New Testament text for social justice teaching. Matthew 25, verses 32 through 46. It sounds really cool if you memorize it. Okay. Second question. What is a social encyclical? Let's read what some people put. A serious letter from the Pope to discuss important social issues, making an impact in that reform. Wepa! Eso está heavy. Okay, so it's a letter from the Pope writing about social issues. If they wrote something similar to that, check. What's the deal with Rerum Novarum By the way, Rerum Novarum means of new things. If so, who wrote it and what, around what time? Social need at the time. Okay, what was the deal? Leo the 13th, what was the deal? Industrial Revolution. ¿Y qué fue eso? Poor and the working class. Yeah, they needed someone to protect them. ¿Qué más? ¿Cómo? Child labor is going on. It's crazy. They'll put him to work. You know what I'm saying? Children are supposed to play, by the way. Children have a right to play.
Father, what would be the exact translation from
Yes.
Of new things, or regarding new things. I think it's rerum is the genitive, an exact translation. Rerum novarum, it's like things that are new. But it was basically, it was the first two words of the encyclical. And he said, about these new things that are going on, I got something to say. Basically, that's how they used to name the encyclicals. The first two words, like Deus Caritas Est is the first Latin words of Pope Benedict XVI's first encyclical. God is love. So Leo started out, regarding all these new things going on, I got something to say. Let me tell you what, the church has a place. Y'all can't be doing that, that's crazy. Yes, you can own things because you're human, hello. Yes, you can organize in unions, hello, because we're human. That's basically what he was saying, but not with the accent. Number 4, what does Anoim mean? Anoim, it means the little ones, the humble ones, the poor ones, but like the favored ones also. I did. Number 5, what's the main difference between Anoim and Tokoi? Tokoi. Huh?
Anoim is spirit, and Tokyo is in wretched poor.
Okay, so Anoim, poor in spirit, the whole biblical tradition, God will take care of the poor, God loves the little ones, God takes care of the little ones. And Tokoi is like, there's like a wretchedness to poverty that someone needs to do something, because that's not right. It's not right that a child starved to death. It's not right. We got to do something. If the poor are blessed, then why should we help them? Blessed are the poor, for they shall inherit the earth. Because Jesus says so? Yeah, basically, if they, as long as they put something good, okay. Eso fue todo, ¿verdad? Okay. All right, so put how many they got wrong on top.